the top of the entire defense. It's caught! 99 yards, Parish!
Stone will keep it himself, and he is in for the score.
Oh!
Intercepted.
The mums and garters are out in full force. The pregame festivities are coming to an end as we are nearing kickoff here at Gloria H. Snyder Stadium. It is homecoming week for the Parish Episcopal Panthers as they host the Trojans of Trinity Christian Academy, coming up next on Game On Sports. And welcome into Game On Sports production of the Parish Episcopal Panthers football team. Nick Laupius alongside Jackson Donovan. And Jackson, the Panthers hit the road last week, and the road hit back as the Panthers suffer a loss last week to Fort Worth All Saints. Looking to get back in the win column tonight against a Trojans team that's been struggling their first 4 games of the season. And on top of all of that, it's homecoming here tonight.
Yeah, it was a tough loss last week, losing to All Saints. All Saints was pretty pumped about that one, crowd storming the field after the game. But Parish ends up losing, according to MaxPreps, their number 1 ranking in the state to the Trinity Christian they played earlier in the year, of course, led by offense coordinator Deion Sanders and his son at quarterback. So they'll lose the number 1 spot, but they definitely have the talent left on their schedule to try and get that spot back. But I know with Coach Novikov, the rankings now don't matter. It's at the end of the year winning the state championship.
And we did see some glimpses of some pretty good play last week from this Panthers offense. The defense was solid as well, but it was a couple of turnovers on some early possessions for the Panthers that ended up costing them late in the game.
No, they did a good job turning it around there in the second half. The third quarter they owned completely, but it was the debilitating offensive run by All Saints there in the fourth ended up the Panthers not getting the ball back till about 2.5 minutes, and then of course the 71-yard touchdown run by Preston Stone getting called back on a holding. They still had it at the opposite 35-yard line, but with only about 45 seconds left, it was hard for them to mount the comeback and able to tie up the game, which they ended up dropping that one, of course, 24-17.
And as we see the Panthers getting ready to take the field here, the white helmets and the red uniforms and pants as well, this is a good team for your Panthers to perhaps fix up a few of those things we saw last week against this Trinity Christian team coming out of Addison that's struggling 0-4 early on in the season for this Trojans team.
Yeah, and we've already seen Parish go up against a good team. When we watched them play Grace Community, number 13 team in the state at the time, they mercy ruled them. They ended up scoring the 40 points that they needed. First possession of the second half, it was a running clock the rest of the way. I don't want to say early that that's going to happen, but this is definitely a good game to come back off a loss right before you start facing 4 straight teams in the top 10 for TAPS.
That's definitely a tough schedule coming up for Preston Stone and company. And speaking of the quarterback situation, the offense just having a tough time last week against a very strong and quick front seven against Fort Worth All Saints last week. What are you expecting to see rather from this offensive attack kind of a week after some preparation after looking at the film from last Friday?
I want to see some improvement on the offensive front. I think those front 5, the big guys, the ones that are going to set the tone, they have to come out big in this one. They got absolutely manhandled and didn't give Preston Stone any time last week to try and sit down in the pocket, decide what he's going to do, and make intelligent passes. He had to scramble a lot of the time to his weak side on the left. I think the front 5 really need to come out, put a foot down and go, this is our field, this is our homecoming, we're going to set the tone. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this first possession they try and run the ball a little bit to give them a little bit of momentum and give them incentive to set some good blocks.
It's definitely going to be a lot of fun tonight. Homecoming kind of reaching its peak at this moment. We're just a few seconds away from kickoff, and Jackson, we saw that defense last week was suffocating as always. Do you expect maybe a similar performance real quick from this defense tonight?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot again, of course, out of the senior Blake Burns. He is massive on that defensive end. When they set their 3-4 front, he really sets the edge, makes sure that there's going to be no running outside, and forces the team to hit you a smash-mouth offense up the middle. And they do a really, really good job, of course, with Noah Richards as well. Those front 3 are amazing when they can set the tone at their pace. Now, we saw All Saints last week able to kind of not so much overpower them, but manipulate them into the areas of the field that they wanted them to be in. And this defensive line couldn't do what they fight every single day to do. And so, honestly, look for Parish on the offense and defensive side. Those front men are really going to set the tone.
Well, and this is going to be a important matchup for this Panthers team tonight. Like you said, next 4 games for this team. It's a very tall task for this Panthers squad coming up within the next 4 weeks of the season, trying to maybe perhaps reclaim that number 1 spot in the state of Texas TAPS.
Yeah, it'll be a tough road. They're going to have Bishop Dunn and Bishop Lentz in their next 2 games, and those are going to be some tough matchups, of course, both in the top 10. And then it doesn't get any easier. You go on the road to Prestonwood Christian, who right now is at the edge. They're at the 10 spot. And then you have John Paul II. They're also around that 9-8 spot, depending on what poll you look at. So it's not going to be an easy stretch for this team. But honestly, if you want to make a deep run into the playoffs, you need to have the battle-tested group. And then they're going to get a little bit of an easier game in Cornerstone Christian to end the year, and that's going to be a good tune-up. Maybe get some guys some rest going into the playoffs or whatever Coach Novikov decides to do, but they are definitely going to have a chance to punch some people in the mouth and prove that they're the number 1 team trying to make a push into the playoffs.
Yeah, you look at that, October 11th at home against Bishop Dunn, October 18th at Bishop Lynch. That's back-to-back weeks, very tough schedules, of course, at Bishop Lynch. And Jackson, we have the coin toss going on here before we get to the national anthem and opening prayer here at the stadium. Keys to the game for Parish to get back in the win column tonight.
I think it's going to come down to, we talked about at the beginning of the game, you need to set the tone, whether it be on the offensive, defensive line. Of course, Preston Stone is going to be a massive part in this game, but honestly, for me, in this one, it's going to come down to the running game. They've done a good job all season long with, of course, Christian Benson and and Karin Lynch, those two, the seniors, are going to be the mainstay on this offense for running the ball. It's going to take a lot of pressure off the junior quarterback. We all know that he is one of the top recruits in the United States, but whenever you can have two good running backs in your backfield, it's going to take a lot of that load off your shoulders.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach Novikov and company have prepared for this big crowd tonight. Homecoming here for the Parish Panthers. We are about to get underway between the Panthers and Trojans, but first we'll pause as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Tonight is homecoming, and we honor those in our school community who have provided the Parish Episcopal School with wisdom, honor, and service inside and outside the classroom. Parish's Wall of Service recognizes staff, teachers, and administrators that have served the school for 20 or more years. Raising the parish flag this evening are Wall of Service honorees that were hired by Gloria Snyder and currently working at the school. Sandy Brickert, Allie Wood, and Cheryl Howard. And raising the Panthers flag tonight, representing the vision, passion, and spirit of Gloria Snyder, who in her lifetime served Parish as its second head of school, and following her tenure continued serving as an advocate, sponsor, and the school's biggest fan, are Gloria's dear friends, Kathy and Brian Pershern, Scott Pershern, who graduated from the Parish Day School in 1988, and his children, Beckett Pershern, class of 2026, and Lane Pershern, class of 2029. These flags join our 2010 and 2014 state championship flags that fly over Gloria H. Snyder Stadium and represent Parish's school spirit, our strong football legacy, and our Panther pride. Football fans, please rise, and gentlemen, kindly remove your hats for tonight's prayer, offered by Parish alum Lauren Sandstedt, class of 2013.
This past December, the Parish Episcopal community lost a transformative leader, true visionary, and great friend, Gloria Snyder. She has served as Parish's second head of school for 29 years. She had a passion for teaching and the vision of changing a small North Dallas day school into something more. She garnered the support of school families and church leaders, secured funds, and developed plans that led to the purchase of the former mobile technology and research facility that occupied this campus. She worked tirelessly in transforming it into what it is today, the Parish Episcopal School. Gloria also understood the importance that sports could play in appealing to the whole child. She oversaw the completion of Parish's athletic facilities, including this stadium that bears her name. Along with her husband Ed, who preceded her, Gloria loved football. And during this 2019 season, the Parish Panther football team will be wearing a memorial sticker to honor her love of this game and this school. Would you please join the Parish Panther community in a moment of silence and remembrance for Gloria H. Snyder? Let us pray. Gracious God, thank you for bringing all of us here tonight to support these special young men playing football. You have given them unique talents, both on and off the field, and we pray that all of us gathered here tonight would see you, God, in each of them. As they strive for victory, give them wisdom and sportsmanship, and protect them from all injury. Bless both teams, both school communities, and all visitors with joy as we participate in this evening and as we travel home tonight in safety. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing as we honor our brave servicemen and women throughout the world. And remember that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our color guard this evening is from the Parish Episcopal School, Webelosten, Pack 59. Carrying the Pack 59 flag is Anurag Mittal. Carrying the Texas flag, Anderson Lee. And carrying the flag of the United States of America is Alexander Stotland. Our national anthem this evening is performed by the Parish 3rd through 12th grade choir.
All right, and welcome back as we are about to get started here tonight. Panthers, Trojans, live from Parish Episcopal Campus in Jackson. This is going to be a fun game. We've already talked about it's a tough schedule ahead for this Panthers team, but not looking forward there just yet. They do have a team on the field against them tonight that have shown some glimpses of some good plays. Unfortunately, 0-4 so far for this Trojan team out of Trinity. Christian, what have you seen really from maybe this offensive side of the Trojans team?
Well, they're definitely going to be a pass-happy offense. They don't rush the ball too much, under 200 yards, only about 2.6 yards a carry on offense. Passing yards on the opposite end, though, they're almost to the 1,000-yard mark in their 4 games, which, of course, when you're lucky enough to see a player like Preston Stone every single week, it doesn't seem like good margin. But for typical Texas high school football, that's not a bad mark. For a team that's right now sitting at 0-4, they definitely want to come out and have this as a statement game, but this is definitely going to be a tough task for them at home for homecoming against Parish. It's not going to be looking good for the Trojans, but we'll just see how this one goes.
And it's at the homecoming matchup for this team, Gloria H. Snyder Stadium. A touching moment just before kickoff as they had a moment of silence and honor for really one of the true visionaries for this Parish program, as the stadium now bears her name. And the crowd is ready, and so are we. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Homecoming action, Trojans, Panthers kicks off. And that one will go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback to start things off as the Trojans will take the ball first.
Yeah, coming out with it will be the Trojans. They need to get something going first off. We've seen this Parish defense be stifling all season long, whether it be the Trinity Christian game, which was a great game week 1, of course, broadcast on ESPN2. Then they played Grace Community and absolutely smothered that offense, only giving up 2 first downs in the first half. And then, of course, last week against All Saints struggled a little bit, but actually outscored them in the first half. It was just the defensive and special team turnovers that hurt them. So it'll be interesting to see how this defense starts off.
We're definitely going to look for number 99, Blake Burris. He's been a force in the first few games. Didn't call his name a whole lot last week. And as the first play, it's going to be a quarterback rollout, trying to go to
and
around
there
the
was
40.
Burris.
It's incomplete right there, right on cue.
Getting in the face of the quarterback. A good job coming off the edge, setting the presence. And it would look like it was number 11, Thomas Hand, the quarterback. He'll be starting the senior 6'2", 173 as he struggled in the face of that 6'5" body coming off the edge.
So 2nd down and 10 now on the 25-yard line. Perhaps a design quarterback run is going to be tripped up there. And, again, number 99, Blake Burris, gets in there first.
I'm not quite sure if he got a hand on him, but he fell anyways. And I apologize, that's actually number 12 in quarterback. Looks like Joseph Nash.
The junior's listed as a running back free safety. But it's taking the opening snaps of this first drive. 3rd down and 12. They're doing a quick wide receiver flat is bobbled incomplete, and it's a 3 and out. So a strong start for this Panthers defense.
Interesting to see the senior quarterback not playing in this one. But then again, when you start 0-4, it's time to start shaking things up. As Thomas Hand was the one who got most of the reps early in the season. In fact, Joseph Nash, that was his first series in at quarterback.
Daniel Demery, a freshman wide receiver, along with Caleb Culp back to return. They're going to let this one bounce as it's touched right at around the 45-yard line, and that's where they'll mark it down. So great starting field position for Preston Stone and company coming into the match. A junior quarterback, and he has had heads turning really his entire career so far here at Parish.
Yeah, Preston Stone last year completely jumped off the page, had a really good receiver core, of course losing his top 3 receivers, but coming into this year has not missed a beat and started the season off well, of course, winning a top 5 matchup week 1, and then getting to this point at 2-1. We'll look to see what he does again against an opponent he shouldn't have a problem with. But we'll just have to see how this game goes. A good shake and bake there on the outside.
So right there, it's going to be Christian Benson breaking free into Trojan territory and out at the 41-yard line.
And they're going to mark him back a little bit. They're going to say he went out of bounds, but that was a good job just hitting Christian Benson on the flat. And we talked about in the beginning of the game, Christian Benson and Karin Lynch are going to be a big part of this offense. As you see both of them actually on the field right now.
Yeah, both of them getting a pretty good amount of handoffs last week. And a very physical front 7 for that Saints team. It's going to be another play action. And again, up to Benson, this time to the near side of the field, breaks 1 tackle and picks up a few to around the 37, maybe the 38-yard line.
I think they just did the exact same play, just flipped it.
There's a play action. Karin Lynch back in the backfield, number 28, senior running back for this squad. Him and Christian Benson, some of the playmakers on this offense. Benson being a junior. He's lined up as a wide receiver. So 2nd down, looks over to Benson's way. Instead will look deep and is caught at the 15-yard line and is brought down. An amazing grab on that far sideline. Evan Green, the senior, with the catch.
I had a horrible feeling when that one left his hand, but a good job just high-pointing that one, Evan Green. I don't think the secondary knew where the ball quite was because it made no effort to jump after it. And Evan Green, just a great catch going up top that time. And they're in the red zone, and we are less than 2 minutes into this one.
Green's grandfather in attendance, of course, Mean Joe Green, out here tonight. No doubt impressed by that first grab of the evening for his grandson, and they're going to have Culp out in motion. He grabs it, gets back to the 15, and will fall forward to around the 12.
Good job that time making a man miss. Could have been a play for no gain, but a good job by Culp and Christian Benson early in this game, getting the ball off the flats and deciding to make a quick move. And these Trinity Christian defenders need to set their feet. They need to wait a little bit. They're going a little bit too full force trying to take the man down for a loss or a no gain, and they're giving up extra yardage after the catch.
So it's a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 now. It's going to be a handoff as Lynch is met right at the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard or two. Is brought down 3rd down.
Thrown that down that time by number 11, Thomas Hand, the year's starting quarterback.
So there's
on
Thomas
the defensive
Hand.
end. Yeah, the senior 6'2", coming in there, getting the tackle, make it 3rd down.
3rd down, 7.
So did get back to the line of scrimmage. It is 3rd down and 7, just underway here between the Panthers and Trojans. 8:50 to go in quarter number 1. Panthers driving on their first possession. The defense for Parish Episcopal forcing a 3-and-out. Stone steps back now, has time and space, is trying to get to that first down marker. Will pick up a few yards to bring up 4th down.
Rushing 5 that time. Maybe I would have liked to have seen Preston Stone stay in the pocket a little bit longer. Decides to take it. Gets about a yard. Now they're going to be going for the field goal as the kicking team comes out onto the field.
Reed Boyster out there now for a 29-yard field goal attempt. Looking to put the first points up of tonight's contest. It's a good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. So 3-0 Panthers strike first as they stall out inside the red zone, but Reed Boyster able to come and make a 29-yard field goal.
Boyster still perfect on the year. Of course, with this offense, hadn't had too many attempts from distance, but a good job getting on the board there as we are just over 4 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
So now the defense coming back out, forcing a 3-and-out, and really, Joseph Nash, who number 12, who was in at quarterback, didn't seem too comfortable in those first 3 plays. It was a dropped pass on play number 1. The second one just seemed to be a little unorganized, ended up getting tripped up, and then the third play of that drive was another dropped pass, the 3-and-out. So we'll see if maybe the Trojans can find a little bit of rhythm on their second possession, but again, a very tough defense they're going up against, and of course you can highlight number 99, Burris, 6'4", 260 pounds for number 99 is already in there on all 3 plays of that first drive.
Yeah, the defensive squad didn't bring a lot of pressure on that first possession, but didn't need to, absolutely manhandling the front 5 of the offensive line and kind of just executing things at will. But again, it was only the first drive. We'll see if they get a little bit of a more rhythm this time, but I don't know. I think this is just the start of a very, very long game.
So Boyster out to kick. Gets a lot of leg into this one. Again, into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25 for the second possession of this Trojans offense. 7:58 to go in quarter number 1, 3-0. Panthers with the lead. Nick Laupius, Jackson Donovan here with you tonight. Thank you for watching Game On Sports' coverage of Parish Episcopal Panthers football all season long. Parish with the loss last week, falling to the number 2 spot in the TAPS rankings, but they are still right there. Number 1 team was, well, a team that they beat earlier in the year. So it's going to be a lot of fun going throughout the season watching this Panthers team right in the thick of it, and especially Jackson, as we talked about in the pregame, these next 4 weeks are going to be a very tough task for this Panthers team, but it'll be a lot of fun to watch. The first play is a handoff right up the middle, gain of maybe a yard.
And it'll be Burns again, meeting him at the line. Looks like they're going to give him a gain of 2, but Blake Burris just absolutely smothering him the minute he decided to get past the line.
So it brings up 2nd down and 8, man in motion. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. It's an option, passes it back, and there's red jerseys everywhere. It's going to be a loss of about 3. 3rd down and 11 coming up as the red jerseys just swarm to the ball that time.
Yeah, that would have been one of the situations as a quarterback just to try and build a little rapport with my running back. Just keep it, go down, take the tackle. Instead, he pitched it at the last minute, and his running back takes all the force on that one, and it'll back him up 2 yards, put it back to 3rd and 10.
So another 3rd down and long already. Man in motion. Steps back, has a man right at the marker, is caught, and it looks like it'll be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, it looks like the ref is going to signal. It was going to be close, but a good job with the awareness, getting the feet down, and it looks like it's going to be a first down right at the 35. So they're going to say he was right at that marker.
So that's Nash's first completion of the evening. Out to the 35, 1st down and 10, another man in motion. Nash takes the snap now, rolls out to the near side, has a man, a big hit laid there.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's incomplete, needless to say. Caleb Culp.
19, Caleb Culp.
The 5'10", 185 senior using all 185 pounds there to knock it loose.
It's a good job that time knowing he was going to come in and lay the hammer down. I was going to say heads-up play, but a good job doing great form because a lot of focus now.